Hello, I'm going to show you some editing that I'm currently doing in MoSys, working on some of the documentation we collected and have started to prepare for publication during the Motion Bank Brazil Lab in Belo Horizonte from the 1st to the 5th of May. We're nearly done with this particular grid, so what you're going to see is me working in the grid. I'm going to show you some things while I'm in there, and I think it'll be useful to jump into something where I'm doing some actual editing for an actual publication or presentation rather than just sort of a tutorial. So what you'll do is you'll have your login. So I'm going to sign in here to in Chrome. Remember, you should be working in the Chrome browser. You'll be signing in here. Logging in. Now I'm ready to go. I'm going to go dig up the MoSys grid that I'm working on. You see this is my list of grids here on the left. The one I'm working on is this one here, which is the Bando interview with Romena. I'm going to click on that, and here you'll see the grid we're working on. It's nearly finished, all the way to the end. There are just a couple of things I'm going to add that Thembi sent me recently. So another thing I'm going to do, though, because I know that I've got to change some of the annotations, so I'm going to change some of the annotations that are sitting here in these annotation cells. And to do that, I have to change the annotations in the timeline list. So I'm going to open another tab in Chrome, and I'm going to open, it just makes it easier to toggle back and forth and not have to close and reopen certain parts of the system. So I'm in Peacemaker. I'm going to go to the timeline where my interviews are. That happens to be Bando number 2 interviews. I'm going to go into the videos, and the interview that I'm editing is the number 3 with Romena. This is one of the issues we have, is that all of these names, if you don't have a good sense of where things are at, it can be hard to find things again, but that's another issue. I'm going to open up the annotate, and what I'm going to do, see my name here means that I've created that annotation. These are the translations that Carla Fernandez did, but I'm going to change this annotation here, and I'm going to add something up here on the top that I would rather show up than what it says here about clicking on the first video to start. So I already have prepared my text, and that text is here. So I'm going to copy and paste that here, and I'm going to edit, and I'm just going to simply paste. Then you see that I just simply pasted the translation in, well, the Portuguese. Oops, sorry. I'm going to go back to my text cell. I'm going to grab the English version. I'm going to paste that here, like that. And then I'm going to save the annotation. Yep, so updated the annotation. I'm going to go back to my grid. I'm going to reload, and you should see that annotation showing up right here. Loading annotations. And it says what I hoped it would say. Click the button in the center of the video to start, like that. And then click here. Eu vou fazer algumas perguntas, mas se você quiser dizer outras coisas que não sejam as perguntas, está à vontade também. Sim, vamos fazer mais ou menos 15 minutos. Eu vou fazer algumas perguntas, mas se você quiser dizer outras coisas que não sejam as perguntas, está. Sorry, I was just checking some things, but basically, with the YouTube videos, I found that you really, if you want to move through the annotations, it's best for the video to be playing. And then click on the annotations, and it will jump forward to those spots in the video. And sometimes the YouTube videos start playing in the middle, and the way to get them to go back to the beginning, because you don't have anything, you can drag the playback button, of course, but you can also click here. And that starts at the beginning. So I'm going to add that in the other videos that I've got playing in the grid. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to go back to my timelines, and I know that those other 3 videos are sitting in the Pakir Bando number 2 here. So those 3 videos, I happen to know what they are. This is I remember because there's a list here. Those 3 videos, the first one is here, assess entrance. Actually, I'm going to go back here. I'm going to grab that text because it's all ready to go here. I'm going to go back and use the text. There we go. That's exactly how I want it. Save that. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go back to the front end here, and that's where I want to put it. See? I'm going to edit that, drop the text in there. I'm going to save it, and now I'm going to do the same for the other 2 videos. I happen to know that the video is this one, the second video. Again, I'm going to change this annotation. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to go back and grab the 3rd video, which I happen to know is leaving the gallery, and change this annotation, edit this, drop that in here and save it. Okay, so that means in the grid, all 4 of those videos now will have that annotation at the top. So loading, you'll see it loading the annotations, and that annotation is intended to encourage the viewer to follow the instructions. So we've got it in Portuguese first and then English. To click the button in the center of the video to start. You see it started here quite a bit further. You can of course drag that, but you can also click on the annotation. Okay, all right. So you go here. Yeah. Now, okay. Now I'm going to make a few other smaller changes. I don't need the video's annotation anymore. I can make the changes directly here. I want to add a little bit of text that says annotations in English by Carla and annotations in English by Tembi. I'm going to go to the edit window. So right now I'm in the view window. I'm going to go to the edit window, and here are all of my cells. There's my grid, and I know that I forgot exactly where I want to add it. I want to add it maybe the shorting provides been invited comment, and some these videos are available to watch going right. Okay, that's where I want to put Carla's, because Carla made these. So click on the text cell, it already exists. Click on the plus, and it's going to show me that part of the text. I'm going to add this from Carla Fernandez in Portuguese. I'm going to give it a I think I'll give it a just a bracket, and click someplace outside the text cell, and it saves it. I can close this down, take a look. You have to scroll there, it says annotation by Carla. I want to add those in English now to the next cell. Plus shows me the content of the cell. I'm going to grab this here and put this in brackets here. And just click outside the area for the text cell to save it. And I know that that's going to work, but I'll take a quick look at it. Annotations by Carla Fernandez, yeah. See, now I have to scroll. When you see a cell that appears to run down below its box, you just have to scroll it and you can read it. It's a choice whether you try to create a cell that's large enough so you don't have to do that, but I think that doesn't always work anyway in various browsers, so it's a trade-off. So I'm going to add that Tembi has done the annotations in these relation to these next 3 videos. So annotations in English. Actually, I want to get rid of those quote marks there. They don't make much sense. Oops. You have to be a little careful sometimes. You scrolling back and forth, you jump right out of the edit window. In English, this makes no sense because that gives me 2 brackets. So let me delete that. Click outside the window for the text cell. It saves it. Okay, now I'm going to unclick that, and you see clicking on these cells gives you opportunities to edit. So here we go with Tembi. Tembi made these annotations, so I'm going to go back and get her, and get rid of that so that there's no confusion. And why don't I just put these on around it right now so I don't have to do that in the text editor. Drop it in, click outside, saves it. Now I don't need to look at it. I can just go, I'm going to get rid of that one. See what I did? I'm clicking on the cells and it brings up the content for editing. And I'm going to go up and get this for Tembi. Put this here. Click outside the cells. I'm going to just keep going. I'm going to do that with each one of these. I have to unclick that in order to get rid of it. Back to Tembi, collect that, copy and paste it here. Click outside the cell, that's going to save it. Get rid of that, go to this one. Hope you can see that. I'm doing it quite quickly. Hope you can see what's happening. We're going to do it one more time. So click outside of the area for the cell, that saves it. Don't have to look at it. But I do need to unclick this so I can get rid of what's in the edit menu. Go back here, this is the last one. It's in Portuguese, so I want to do that. I'm going to click outside, that will save it. Unclick this one, click on this one, and annotations in English by Tembi Rosa. Put that here. And save it. Let's take a look now at what happened. So we've already seen that Carla, little note about Carla is added there. We've changed these annotation texts here. And here we see annotations by Tembi, annotations by Tembi, annotations by Tembi, okay, same thing here, same thing here. That's all I wanted to do. And I'll close the screencast now.